How does you're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay,
Well, we want to know in the least amount of fights. I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights,
Yes, you did.
who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were
So it's basically saying that.
the greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Within hours, Floyd's response flooded social media. Smooth, controlled, and ice-cold as always. But beneath the calm wording and unreadable expression, people close to him say Floyd was angry. And for good reason. For the first time in a long while, someone didn't just measure themselves against him. They openly said they would beat him. Not outlast him. Not survive him. Stop him. Floyd heard Terence Crawford loud and clear. And his reaction wasn't only about pride. It touched legacy, respect, and the uneasy idea that the sport he once dominated might now belong to a new king. Let's rewind. The moment that sparked everything aired on a major boxing podcast just 2 nights earlier. Terence Crawford, coming off his legendary win over Canelo Alvarez, was asked a question most fighters avoid. If you and Floyd were both in your prime, the host asked, what happens? Crawford leaned back, smiled, and delivered the line that split boxing fans instantly. I would have stopped Floyd easier than I stopped Errol Spence. He's great, but I'm greater. That single statement exploded. Within minutes, hashtags like hashtag Crawford versus Floyd and hashtag GOAT debate were climbing worldwide.
Yo, yeah, so pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit, okay, I'm just asking.
That
Floyd was
would
pound for pound before.
have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody. I'm gonna always
Okay,
say me.
okay.
Come on now.
But what truly rattled people wasn't just Crawford's confidence. It was how believable it felt. When you look at his resume, when you see how he broke down Errol Spence and completely shut down Canelo Alvarez, it's clear Crawford isn't talking out of emotion. He's precise. He's deliberate. And Floyd knows that too.
Just a guy like Canelo, he can do the choose who he want to fight. Man, I'm gonna tell you the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I took this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/box.
Here's the reality. Floyd Mayweather has spent his entire post-retirement run shaping the narrative. Every exhibition fight, every interview, every headline was meant to keep the spotlight firmly on him. But in 2025, that control is starting to fade. While Floyd is stepping into the ring with Mike Tyson in what feels more like a throwback show, Terence Crawford is out there making real history right now.
You think that around Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he's moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? He would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
He's not hunting for easy money. He's chasing greatness. And that's exactly what stings Floyd the most.
And I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather's the greatest of all time, but I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. But that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that, and not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
For years, critics argued that Floyd's career was all about timing, waiting out rivals, choosing the safest moments, and picking fights that brought the most money with the least danger. And honestly, they weren't wrong. Floyd was a master at business inside the ring. But that brilliance always came with questions attached. On the other side, Terence Crawford has taken a completely different path. He's facing dangerous opponents while they're still at their best. He's climbing weight classes. He's accepting risks Floyd never did. And now, he's calling Floyd out, not for attention, but for respect and credibility.
Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion. 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds. Claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept his distance. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford.
But this is where the story gets even more interesting. People close to Mayweather Promotions say Floyd feels genuinely disrespected. Not just because of what was said, but because of who said it. Floyd built much of his legacy around loyalty. He discovered Gervonta Davis guided him, shaped him, and turned him into a star under his wing. But Terence Crawford never needed Floyd. He never trained with him, never signed to his camp, and never played by his rules. Crawford rose on his own path, built his own name, and became a superstar without leaning on anyone, something only a handful of fighters have ever managed to do.
I beat this guy, his excuse, I beat this guy, you know, he's too young or whatever. So I'm never really going to give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, you know, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. You know, we really didn't realize it until now when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, #1 guy that's the face of boxing, you know. And the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose, you know. So I just think, you know, when you that much better than the competition, you know, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man, that dude was good.
And that independence is exactly why Floyd feels uneasy. One promoter shared that Floyd sees himself in Bud, but without the control. Crawford is doing what Floyd once did, just without the politics and power plays. And that's the real issue. Floyd doesn't like being measured against the man who might follow him. He prefers being the standard no one else can copy.
And today I'll let you know, there's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone. I'm the best.
But Crawford isn't trying to copy Floyd. He's changing the rules and writing his own version of greatness.
Where does he rank now, all time? Ending this interview.
#1, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford is this generation guy. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching this for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight. It's a win for the whole world boxing. Every generation from Floyd generation to this generation to get to see it come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. So.
Now, here's why this debate divides fans. Floyd Mayweather was almost untouchable in his era. He rarely lost a round, let alone a fight. His defense was so sharp, he made the best punchers look ordinary. Crawford, on the other hand, is the opposite. He thrives in chaos, takes risks, and then controls it. He doesn't just aim to outpoint opponents. He aims to break them down completely.
In the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
When Crawford faced Errol Spence, everyone braced for a brutal battle. What they got was something else. A masterclass in precise, controlled power. He broke Spence down step by step, knocked him down 3 times, and closed the fight with surgical precision.
I didn't expect that the fight will be like that, but I thought it will finish 12 rounds. But Crawford he did a good job.
It's Crawford. Time for time number one. Time for time number one.
I think so. Pretty much. I don't think.
Do you feel like they need a rematch, Manny, after what you saw tonight?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a rematch. We gotta go. It's kind of one-sided fight.
Does this fight make Terence Crawford all-time great in your eyes?
He's still in his career, so he was only prime in his career. So we'll see. We'll see the journey of his life.
That's the kind of dominance Floyd never showed against elite opponents. Sure, Floyd outboxed Canelo, but that was a younger Canelo, not yet in his prime. Crawford, meanwhile, beat Canelo while moving up 2 weight classes. That's why so many modern analysts are saying it straight. Terence Crawford might actually be better than Floyd Mayweather ever was. Even legends are weighing in. Roy Jones Jr. said, *skill for skill, Floyd was smoother. But for total dominance, Crawford is doing something completely new.
When you mention great fighters, right? 90% of the great fighters are black. You want to. Now, some black coming on like they always gonna be some great ones coming on there. You with Lil Tony, as you see it, these guys are gonna be great. They're gonna start eclipsing and coming up there too. But right now, if you had to name 5 of the best fighters of all time, 4 of them gonna be black. You understand me? Who did he beat that was black in his prime, that was in their prime, that was on his level? Nope.
And Max Kellerman summed it up perfectly. Floyd fought to stay in control. Crawford fights to leave his mark. That's the real difference.
Wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd took and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
Crawford did amazing, he a legend, man. 3-time undisputed, you got to take his hat off to him. He went up 2 weight classes and dominated a legend, so my hat goes off to him and he's all respect.
Do you think Canelo is the same guy that he was before? You think he's completely falling off?
Canelo's Canelo, you know what I mean? Canelo's a legend, bro. You gotta, at the end of the day, whatever happened that fight, that don't diminish his career, his image. For me, I think right now, he's at that time where he took an L, but he ain't took an L, you know what I'm saying? He got paid and he's a legend at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So if he want to walk over in the sunset right now, his name, his last name is in the cement. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the greatest Mexican fighters in the world.
I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but Crawford does have all the titles. You're a really big name. He's kind of in your way right now a little bit. Is that a point where you're just like, yeah, me and him get it on for sure?
Not for sure. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? We don't duck no smoke. So, right now, I'm focused on my comeback fight, you know what I'm saying? I got to put my head down, whatever happened in my last fight is cool, but, that ain't dim my light at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a super strong, still a star. I'm still the king of New York, man. You know, I fly, I look good, I fight good, man. So, you know,
Meanwhile, Floyd's been on the defensive. He keeps pointing to his record, 50-0, the money, the pay-per-view hits, the business empire. But Crawford isn't focused on stats. He's focused on legacy. And that's why this feels like a torch-passing moment, even if Floyd won't admit it. Let's be honest, Mayweather's era was all about perfection. Crawford's era is about growth and evolution. Floyd avoided losses by avoiding risks. Crawford might lose someday, but if he does, it'll be because he gave everything on the line.
And I beat him, but we both been out there, they say he's over the hill. But then when Pacquiao fights him, they say, oh, this is the greatest thing we ever seen. So then when I fight Hatton, they say I'm too big for Hatton, but then they say,
No, you
no.
got full credit for both of those wins, Floyd. That's why you became a superstar.
No, I did not.
Yes,
no,
you
I
did.
did not. No, I
sure
did
you
not.
did. From
Are
me,
you gonna
I
let
gave
me
you full
speak my
credit.
piece?
If you're talking to me now,
am I gonna
I
speak
gave
my
you
piece?
full credit for that.
Am I gonna speak my piece or not?
Go
Am I
ahead.
gonna speak my piece or not?
Go ahead.
Okay, because you want to interview me. I ain't interviewing you. You want to talk to me. I don't worry about talking.
Floyd,
you want to talk
go ahead.
to me.
I'm waiting on you.
So then when I fight Hatton, they said, oh, Mayweather is too big for Hatton. But then Marquez and Pacquiao can fight, it's no problem. But now, but I'm too big for Marquez. I'm too big for Marquez, but I'm not too big for Pacquiao. Which one is it?
Well,
which one is it?
Which one is it?
Which one is it?
It's that Pacquiao was 130 pounds and he keeps moving out and whacking guys who are much bigger. He gets full credit.
That's the line between an icon and a legend, and Floyd knows it. That's why he's back in interviews, talking about the new generation chasing attention. That's why he keeps reminding everyone of his billions and business genius. Because when the discussion turns to true greatness, Floyd doesn't like the direction it's going. You can't beat Father Time, and you can't outrun the future. So, what's next? Word is Floyd might do a one-on-one interview to set the record straight, which usually means highlighting his undefeated record and massive earnings. But here's the truth, that won't slow Crawford down. Fans have already started rewriting the story. Crawford isn't chasing Mayweather anymore. He's stepping into his place. Where once boxing's face was Floyd's confident smirk under the bright lights, it's now Crawford's icy stare beneath championship gold. And the wildest part? Floyd helped create this moment. By setting the standard so high for so long, he gave Crawford the blueprint to surpass it. Respect where it's due, Floyd Mayweather changed the sport forever. He built an empire, beat every top fighter of his era, and made more money than anyone in boxing history. But Terence Crawford is redefining greatness. He may not be undefeated, but he's undisputed, 3 times over. He's not fighting for fame, he's fighting for legacy. So when Floyd says there are levels to this, maybe he's right. But maybe, just maybe, the levels have shifted. What was once the ceiling of greatness is now simply Crawford's starting point.
A lot of comparisons. Crawford, Floyd Mayweather had the conversation going as far as who fight. And Floyd, and I truly don't know the answer.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah, who win that fight? Floyd. Floyd wins.
Yes, sir. I
Floyd
love you.
always figures it out.
Yeah, he's his IQ would.
Funny thing about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
That's true. But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Everybody else, yeah.
There's an OG somewhere.
Somebody gotta pioneer, right?
Figure out. There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere, and I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
Now the world is watching. Crawford has already said he has a few fights left before retirement. Maybe Jiren Boots Innes, maybe a rematch with Canelo, or even a move up to 160 for one last title.
Trainer, do you feel like you should sell off into the sunset after Monument all that?
Well, you know what? They made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 more in him. You know what I'm saying? Frank was trying harder. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, be challenged. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.
Every move Crawford makes now adds more weight to his legacy. Make no mistake, this isn't just a debate anymore. It's a shift in power. The king of the old era versus the king of the new. One guarded his legacy, The other is building his through risk and chaos. One fought to retire wealthy. The other fights to be remembered forever.
You before the fight, Crawford Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. Go. There's all time. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul, Ray, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence? Yeah. Oh, of course. Of course. Of course he is.
And in the end, maybe that's what's bothering Floyd the most. The one fighter who could realistically beat him in a fantasy matchup doesn't have to prove it. He already has. So, fight fans, what do you think? Was Floyd's response fair, or did Crawford just make it clear that the throne has quietly changed hands? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real talk. I'll see you in the next video.